Hello, thank you everyone who has joined so far tonight. We will go ahead and get started, and for those who are running a little bit behind, they can add in as they come. This webinar will be recorded today and then put on to our website. So if there's anything that you do take from this and you want to watch again or share it to a friend, you definitely could tell them to go to our website to watch it. We usually post it by the next afternoon. But I am Maggie. I am with ICANN here today, and we are going to talk about exploring colleges. So, like I said, I'm here with ICANN. It stands for Iowa College Access Network. You can see our mission here on the screen. What that means to you is that we are a service. We provide a variety of services, and we're a nonprofit. So, what that means is that any of our services that we do provide are free to you. When you are meeting with us, you can either email, call, have an appointment in person or virtually, and it's always a free service to you. Whether you're in high school or outside of high school, it doesn't matter. We can help with any of these things when it comes to the transition from maybe that high school to college or finding a new career. We're here to help you with that transformation. The biggest thing that we do help with is that FAFSA. But when we talk about exploring colleges, we can help you with the whole process. And if we're not able to answer that question for you, we can get you to someone who can. When it comes to scheduling an appointment with us, you can either call into that number on the screen or you can go to our website. On our website, we do have a schedule an appointment icon. When you go and click it, you can see all of our advisors' schedules. You can pick who you want to meet with, or you can pick a date, and then it'll assign you to that advisor. This is an easy way to schedule your appointment that you can look at what options we have available. And as well, when it's outside of our business hours from 8 to 4:30, you're able to schedule your appointment or talk with your student to get that time down. Another thing I like to point out about our website is the events and presentations icon here. Just like today, we have several webinars. You can register for them there, as well as if when they're recorded, this is going to be where they'll be under. And any of our previous ones are recorded and in there too. When it comes to if you're not ready to have an appointment yet with us, the icons at the top of the screen, this toolbar here is very helpful just to do your own research. A lot of things that we talk about today will all be under different areas in our website. So feel free to poke around if you're not ready for an appointment yet, but just want to learn more. Like I said, we can either meet virtually, which is over Zoom. When you schedule, we just send you a link, and from there, you'll meet with us and have an appointment. We would do everything we would in office, just over that virtual appointment where you can be anywhere and access that meeting. When it comes to our in-office locations, you can see the ones listed on the screen, whichever is closest for you, or if you've worked with someone before, say you work with me, you don't have to stay with me. If your student goes to a school that's closer to another location, they can always go to that. When it comes to looking at and exploring colleges, where we need to start is actually figuring out what our goals are. So maybe what career are we thinking we're going into? When we're exploring careers, it can be done a variety of ways. It can be what we recommend most is going in and doing a career assessment. A lot of students will do this in their high school experience, maybe one or multiple times. We recommend doing it at least every year or every other year. That way, because your students their interest and personalities are going to change throughout these times. When they first take one in eighth grade, it's not going to be the same student that takes it that sophomore or junior year. So making sure that when you're trying to figure out that career, that we stay on top of it. We're always looking back at it and making sure it still aligns with what our interests are today. When you take a career assessment, it's going to be a personality quiz. It's going to ask you different strengths and interests for you, and then it's going to align you with different careers and majors. This is important to do because then you can explore several careers and majors that maybe you wouldn't know have existed if you didn't do this. When you do a career assessment, it's a great tool because when it aligns you with those careers or majors, you then can go in and explore that job. It'll tell you the day in, day out. It will also tell you maybe what schools are known for it, what that salary is for that position, because we want to make sure what we are interested in also aligns with what we want our lifestyle to look like after college. So making sure that we're doing our research and what our actual career will look like, what majors align with that, and where we can actually go to achieve that career is important. When we do a career assessment, they're also going to tell you what degree you need to be able to achieve that career. So whether it's a 2-year or 4-year degree, this is why it's important to start setting these goals. Once we are exploring careers, maybe you do a career assessment and you have a top 5 or top 3 careers. This is why it's great to look in there and do your research. It may help you narrow down a couple of those that don't align with what you actually want to do, as well as then you can take those careers that you're interested in and you can do job shadows or internships. What this will look like, a job shadow is going to be maybe a day or a half a day where your student goes along with a professional, and then they're able to see the day in and day out of what they're doing. They're able to ask that professional questions about their career and just figure out more of what that actually would look like with doing hands-on experience or being able to watch a professional actually do that. So job shadows are a great tool because they'll either figure out whether they are still interested in that career or whether maybe they're not, and that will save them time and money down the road. Job shadows are usually given to you or usually have the opportunity to do job shadows through not only your school, but you can also reach out to a business, or if it's a parent or a friend that is in that profession, you can ask them and see if they're able to. If they cannot actually do a job shadow, say their company does not allow it, you can still maybe do a call where you can ask them questions and learn more about their career from someone who's actually in that field. Internships are also a great opportunity. Internships are going to be a little bit longer. Maybe it's over a summer or maybe it's over a couple months or longer period, but you're actually doing the job yourself. You're doing the day in and day out and getting to experience it yourself for a longer amount of time. That way, again, we're trying to figure out what we do and don't like. Maybe you'll find things throughout that career that you do like, but you maybe want to change and adjust to maybe a career that's close to what you're doing in that internship. Or you might do an internship and love what you're doing, or figure out, okay, I don't love what I was doing in that internship, but I saw another job in a different area in that building that I would love to explore going forward. So, again, great ways to figure out what we do want to do in the future so we can figure out what our goals are and how we get there. When you're looking at career assessments, your schools will always do them with the students. Making sure that your students are actually looking into that is important. But also, if they're wanting to do other ones, we have a variety at our website. They tell you how long they are, how much time they take, how many questions. This is a great tool to use to maybe compare what you're doing with your school, as well as it's maybe just a fresh start, a fresh thing to look at for your student as well to help them with their career decision process. If you're wanting help with that, we do help with those career assessments. Or if you do the career assessment on your own and you want to talk through those different careers, we can always help you with that too. When we are exploring those careers, like I said, in those career assessments, it's going to then help you learn what you actually need to do after high school to help achieve that career and best set you up to be able to get into that field. So, whether it's a career training program or apprenticeship, whether it's certification of 3 to 9 months, a diploma, an associate's degree, which is 2 years. Maybe you can do 2 years and then transfer to a 4-year university, or you just start at a 4-year and complete a 4-year undergraduate degree, and then continuing on into a master's doctorate. It may be something you have to do for a more specialized career. And then on top of that, you can also do military specialized training. So these are all things that we would want to know. So then we could start looking at schools that actually qualify for those degrees. When we are looking at colleges and we start exploring colleges, there are a lot of things that we want to consider. We want to make sure that they have our major and program. Coming from someone who was in admissions prior to this role, we would have people that would schedule visits and we wouldn't even have their major that they wanted to go into. So making sure that you're doing a little bit of research on your part before we are getting interested in a school or pay or do an application for a school is important. You want to make sure they actually have what you want to study. Looking at their costs and financial versus your financial aid that you would receive is important as well, making sure that fits to your financial plan. Then looking at the type of institution. Are you wanting a public university? Are you wanting a private community college, in-state or out-of-state, technical? These are all things you have to consider when you're looking and doing your research. Another thing that is usually a big decision factor for students is campus size or class size. What type of environment do you learn best? Is that a small class size of 20 to 30 students, or could you be okay in a big university where it's like a 500-person lecture hall? We want to make sure that that class size is going to be the best for you to be able to learn in, and that you have what you need to be able to achieve that actual degree that you're going to school for. Location, whether you want it close or you don't care if it's far away from home, looking at that. Campus living, do you like their living, their dorm or apartment situation? If you're not wanting to live on campus, are you able to do that? Some schools you cannot, you have to live on campus those first few years, or they have a certain timeline of where when you do have to live on campus, making sure that actually meets what you're looking at so that you don't get excited about this school and then you have to start your search process all over again because you were planning to live at home. Campus environment is another thing to make sure that you're looking at when touring campus, when asking those questions to maybe your admissions counselor, figuring out what student life looks like to you and making sure that they have those things for you. Whether that's maybe doing extracurricular activities on campus, maybe that's doing sports, maybe it's doing extra clubs, organizations, looking at what you want in your experience and making sure it matches that. And then other resources. If you know that you want counseling on campus, help with job placement, career planning, whether it's you want to make sure that they have tutoring on campus. These are all things to look at to make sure that you are ready to go for those for that experience as well. Facilities, what other things that you want within the campus, making sure it has that, and then looking at transportation, parking. Are you bringing a car? Are you not bringing a car to campus? Do they have public transport? Is there a bus system? Making sure that you're considering all those things. And then if you're a transfer student, what does it look like to transfer or start at that school? How easy do your credits transfer into another school? And then maybe also looking at that school that it will be after those 2 years is important to making sure that we are comparing those options so we have that full plan before we go to that first 2 year school. As we go through this presentation, I just want to let you guys know, feel free to, if you have any questions, the chat is open, so you can always ask that, or feel free to reach out to ICANN after too if you have more of a personalized question that you'd like to ask. Continuing on with it, when you are researching schools, so you know those things you now need to consider when you are looking at schools and comparing. When it comes to researching schools, you can obviously start at the most easiest place, and that's the college's website. The college's website is going to have those specific details for their school. It's going to have that admissions spot where they have that application and what that process looks like. They're going to have a financial aid portion as well that's going to have maybe a calculator so you can figure out how much school is going to cost for you. They'll have a lot of resources there, scholarships, all different things to help you kind of make that decision. And then if you can't find your answer there, always reach out to that college admissions counselor. Social media posts may be able to help you as well to see more of what that campus life looks like or what they are doing on campus. Just a simple Google search, but make sure you're looking and that it's an actual trusted source. And then College Raptor is one that can be helpful for students as well. College Raptor helps students not only find college matches, but discover those and see what they may offer for financial aid as well and what would fit them. So another great tool out there besides just going to that school's website. When we are looking at colleges and say that we have a handful, maybe that we want to start touring, then we can go and then you can start whether it's a campus visit day, maybe like a bigger group or an individual visit. There are a lot of resources out there. We have one at our website that you can go to icansucceed.org/materials, and it's going to help you make the most out of your visit day. It also will have different tasks on there as well as a helpful sheet on the back to be able to write down that information as you go. But when you do tour, make sure you're making notes because it can be a lot of information in one day, and you want to make sure that you're going to remember what you got out of that day, as well as you always can feel free to take pictures of their campus if you want something to reference. If there's something that you need to write down in the notes app, don't be nervous or to take a pause. It's important that you do get everything out of that experience. When it comes to campus visits, This can start as early as your sophomore year. And then continuing into your junior year. I recommend starting your sophomore or junior year to then be able to, if you need to, senior year, you can go back and revisit schools. So, say you have 5 schools that you're looking at, you can visit them. And then if you're down to 2, you still have time to go back to those 2 schools and compare again. When it comes to campus visits, it can look a variety of ways. It does depend on the school and what their formatting is, but it could be as easy as a campus tour, maybe an overnight stay if they're allowed. You can sit in on a class possibly during the day, meet faculty or current students, talk to that financial aid office, or just being able to talk to that admissions counselor is very helpful. When you do a campus visit, it can look like a campus visit day, like I talked about earlier. These can look like a junior visit day, a sophomore junior, or a sophomore visit day. Maybe it's something within your specific major, like a nursing action day. These are all days that maybe are more targeted towards a certain group versus just a basic visit for yourself only. So there'll be a big group of people there. You might be able to talk with admissions, or have a specific class that you all sit in on. But look at these visit days. Maybe if you're not ready for that one-on-one visit, or if you want to see more within your major, you might be able to with a visit day like that. When it comes to a scheduled visit where it's more one-on-one, it'll be a campus tour. It may just be you, or you may go with a group. From there, then you usually will meet with an admissions counselor one-on-one to be able to talk about what the application process looks like, financial aid, and then any other questions about the school and maybe your major a little bit. If you are looking to book a visit more one-on-one style, I always recommend at least giving a 2 week notice. So if you are wanting to meet with an advisor or a professor or a coach on campus, that it gives them plenty of time to look at their schedule and make sure what works for you can all be met in one day. You don't want to have to go back because maybe the day that you picked is a day where a coach can't meet with you. So making sure you're just giving plenty of time. And before you do come to campus, do some research on the website and then come prepared with questions that you have that maybe they'll answer them along the way and you can write down the answers to them, or you at least have it for that one-on-one visit ready to go. So you can ask those questions and you aren't trying to email people or find people to connect with after. If college visits aren't where you're at yet, a great resource might be college fairs. So, college fairs are going to be a one-stop shop. They will have a variety of colleges, maybe apprenticeship programs, careers, that will all be in one space. So, you'll go to a specific area when that happens, and there will be a bunch of booths where you can walk around and talk with those admission counselors or those reps from those certain things and ask them questions. You can collect information. A lot of them will have brochures, maybe things in your specific major, maybe some gear as well. You never know. But it's a great tool if you're not ready to make that travel yet to be able to go to that college or go to that or talk with an apprenticeship or trade. You can at least then go to this. You can go to a college fair and you can get all that information in one place. So if you have 10 schools you're looking at, you can possibly just from this one day narrow it down to 5 because you're able to ask all those questions and get to learn more in that space. When you are looking at college fairs, some tips are making sure that you visit at least 5 booths. Even if they're not ones that are on your radar, making sure that you are going to them and just asking some questions. You might discover a school or a career that you didn't know existed or that you weren't interested in that might actually pique your interest down the road. So make sure you're actually going, you're comparing schools. If you are going with your actual school in general, you separate from your friends. We're not wanting to stay in all these packs because you want to look on your own and actually learn for yourself. As well as if they have an exhibitor list there or before, look at that list and make a note of all the schools that you want to visit or talk to that day. It's important to do this so you don't go to it and forget a school because you'll get busy, you'll get excited, you'll get talking, and then you may forget. So making sure you have a list ready to go with not only who you want to visit, but the questions that you have so that you can get all the information you need out of that one day. Make sure too that you're collecting brochures, but not only those, but business cards as well. If an admission counselor has their business card there, they are most likely going to be the person you're working with, or they'll be able to help you find the person or your admissions rep that you are working with. So it's a great tool to have to be able to ask those questions and know your direct contact. And then make a good impression. Like I said, those are going to be the people that you're working with, or will know the people that you're working with. So they will remember you and then they'll be able to help you best. And when you make a good impression, they're going to be more eager to help you along the way. If you are looking for a college fair to go to, we have a career and college fair coming up this Sunday, the 30th, from 1 to 3. When you are for this career and college fair, it is put on by ICANN, like it says on there. It is at the hotel at Kirkwood Center in Cedar Rapids. So this is one where a bunch of schools will be at. So a lot of colleges and universities will be there. There will be careers there, apprenticeship programs, trades, military. So a bunch of different resources there that you can be able to collect that information on. So it may help you then determine what schools you want to go visit in the upcoming year. We as well not only have this one that's upcoming in the spring, we host this one every spring. We also host another every fall, which is in Altoona at Prairie Meadows. That is one you can always come back and look at our website. It is the largest one in the state of Iowa. We have a bunch of in-state and out-of-state schools, just like this one, but it is larger than what our one in Cedar Rapids is. When we are looking at college fairs, or when we are looking at college fairs, making sure that you look at who's exhibiting, like I said, and that you make sure that when you go through who is exhibiting, that you are aligning with what major you're wanting to go into or career you're wanting to go into. This is very important because you want to make sure that these are the schools, if you only have so much time, that you are getting that school that is going to then meet those goals for you in the future. When it comes to college and career fairs, they will have a Strive scan code system. Example for ours in Cedar Rapids, we will have that. This is a great tool you can sign up for before at strivefair.com. It is going to be a code that you're able to let schools scan that then they're able to have your information to put into their system so they can send you more information or what events are coming up or reach out to you when applications are due. So this is a great tool to have so they can give you information that's needed and be able to contact you and remember you for the ongoing year when you're getting ready to tour campus. Some helpful tips for fairs is, like I said, make sure you're visiting a variety of schools that not only schools that you're familiar with either, making sure you're going around talking to everyone or someone that piques your interest and that you make sure to get that contact information as well. When we are preparing for these fairs, like I said, kind of summing this up, when we're preparing for these college fairs or visits, making sure that you are getting a career assessment in. When you're looking at a career assessment, or before you go to these fairs, knowing what you want to do is important because they're going to ask you. If you don't know exactly, but you have a few to choose from, that's still better than not knowing at all what you want to do. So if you do a career assessment, we have one right there that you're able to do while you're at the fair. But if you do it before, then you can go to those schools and say, I'm interested in marketing and management. So then they can give you that information. When you are looking at our college fairs, you can always go to our website to figure out who is exhibiting at them. So there's a lot of those that are already not only career-based, but college-based, military, that you can see on our website. So again, making sure you go through and that you get those specific schools down so that you can meet with all of them. There's a lot of questions that you're able to ask out there. We have these also in our website in our booklets. If you go to materials, making sure that you're asking a variety of questions, not only like what does your campus have to offer, making sure that you know all the application requirements so you can start preparing for that. If they need an ACT or SAT score, not only for admission, but do I need it for scholarships as well down the road? Is there a fee to apply? asking these questions not only about the college themselves, their major, but also the application process is important, so that you know what all you need to be able to make sure that you can go there, and that you're also not only what you need to be able to go there, but then what they have on campus so that you actually will stay there throughout your time. So again, a bunch of different things you can ask them. Just make sure you do have questions with you ready to go when you get there at the fair. If you do want any of these helpful tips or need any more information, you can always go to our website. Like I said, bunch of helpful tools on there. If you want any other information, you can always follow us at any of our social media platforms, as well as we have our grade level alerts on our website. So if you sign up for these, we will send you specific alerts for your student's grade. So you can sign up as a parent or have your student sign up, and then they will get emails throughout each year specifically for if they're a junior or senior. So when we have those college fairs or when FAFSA comes open, we can help them as well. Thank you so much for attending our webinar today. I will stay on for a couple more minutes. If you guys have any questions about exploring colleges, those college or career fairs, or anything that you may have going forward, feel free to put it in the chat and I can answer. If I don't have any within the next minute or two, I'll close the webinar. But thank you all for coming today. Okay, so I'm not seeing anyone in the chat. I'll stay on for one more minute, but if we don't have anything, then I'll go ahead and end the webinar. Okay, well, thank you all for coming today and have a great rest of your day. If you do have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to you can go to our website and find our main email and you can ask us any questions there.